What's going on, guys? This is Aaron from Departures Capital. We're here with Scott Moore, President and Chief Executive Officer at Eurosun Mining. How are you doing today, Scott?
Hey, Aaron. Great. I'm happy on today. Thank you.
Yeah, excited to have you on the channel. So, can you give us a quick introduction on Eurosun Mining and tell us all about the company?
Sure, Aaron. It's a quick introduction here. Is we're a publicly listed company, trading on Toronto and on the over-the-counter market in New York, and soon to be on the London Stock Exchange. Our main project is called the Robinhood Valley Project, and located in, we'll call it Northwest Romania within the European Union. It's big, contains about 7 million ounces of gold and about 1.5 billion pounds of copper in resources and reserves. We produced a feasibility study, and we have a mining license issued by the state of Romania and signed by the Prime Minister. And we're kind of in the last stages of permitting, and we plan to be in construction in 2022.
Exciting. So, the Ravina Valley Project is the 14th largest undeveloped asset in the world and the second largest undeveloped asset in Europe. Can you tell us more about your upcoming catalysts in regards to this project?
Sure. I would say the filing of our last two remaining permits with the Romanian government, and that would be our environmental impact assessment, and the second permit being our rezoning plan, would be significant near-term catalysts, and we hope to have those filed by the end of this year. Additionally, the completion of our strategic environmental assessments, which goes hand in hand with our rezoning plan, should also be a significant milestone. And I think opening new markets to investors, like our upcoming London Stock Exchange listing, should be also a strong catalyst for the stock.
Definitely, yeah, exposure is important. So, Eurosun is working on a possible LSE listing, like you just said. What does this mean for the company?
Sure, and I think it's all about new markets, new shareholders, particularly those who understand the need for developing critical metals. We are a gold and copper producer in the EU, from the EU. I would also say that London's much more advanced when it comes to environmental, social governance investing, or ESG investing. They're probably 12 to 18 months ahead of North America. And certainly our project is a leader in that field, and that I think would resonate very strongly with UK investors.
Awesome. So, Eurosun Mining's strategy is to be a low impact miner. Can you tell us how that's been received by the government and how it has helped during the permitting process?
Or in a broader market, I would say that Europe, Eurosun developing its critical metals supply, particularly the copper side of our business, for the EU, from the EU, right? So we don't utilize cyanide in any of our recovery processes. We don't use any wet tailings. Site use dry stacking instead. Which is, while more expensive, is certainly more environmentally responsible. Lowers the level of water that we use in our processing from like 95% to 30%. So you can also progressively reclaim the waste piles during the mine life, and not leaving this big environmental liability at the end of 20 or 30 years. And hence the government's been granted and continues to grant all the permits we need to move towards construction.
Wonderful. So, can you give us an update on the focus in Europe along with the debt financing for the construction of the mine?
Sure. I think one of the things that we're looking at is critical metals and supply chains. And certainly, we're a European story and looking to supply into Europe, as China continues to, let's say, monopolize particularly copper supply or lithium supply in some other cases, from Africa and Latin America, and delivering it only indirectly to their needs. So hence we're focused on delivering, a made in Europe strategy here. On the debt side, we're proceeding. Discussions are proceeding well. We're looking at about a $250 million debt facility to build the project, in order to produce about 100,000 ounces a year and about 11,000 tons of copper a year for about 17 years. Romania is seen as a strong jurisdiction for project finance due to its position within the European Union, and a strong fiscal and legal regime. So being in the EU allows us to target debt providers not normally available outside of Europe, like the European Investment Bank, like the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development. So there's lots of opportunities for us to tackle the capital side of things, being physically present in Europe and providing critical metals to the European community.
Great. So, the Ravina Valley Project has taken a very responsible development approach. Can you tell our viewers why this has been so successful?
Yeah, I would say there's probably the three biggest issues related to mining are, one, the use of harmful chemicals in processing or recovery. water overusage, and certainly a lasting environmental liability long after the mine is finished, left over for the communities to deal with. And we've addressed all those three concerns again, just to repeat that we're not using cyanide, so there's no harmful chemicals used in the processing of the product. To recover the gold at Ravina, and alternatively, we're producing a copper concentrate with gold instead. We've chosen dry stack versus wet tailings. Again, that significantly curtails the use of water in our operation. And we'll concurrently rehabilitate the waste dumps throughout the mine life as opposed to being just at the end, right? We're going to backfill one of the pit. The second pit will be a small lake for the locals to enjoy. And more importantly, we plant in Romania 3 trees for every tree we cut down. So even though we're going to replant all the ones we affect on our property during the rehabilitation process, we will have a net benefit of 300% more forest after the mine is finished, or even during the mine life. So it's a big key benefit.
All right, so Scott, the two metals that you're focusing on, copper and gold. I was just curious, your opinion. Where do they go from here, and where do you see the opportunity with those?
Sure, and just to repeat, Ravina is about 60-40 gold to copper on a revenue basis. So both metals are a significant economic contributor to the project. We're focused on delivering a copper concentrate. That's our only product. So critical metals into the European Union, decarbonization, EVs, charging stations, all heavily using copper. So copper is already at call it $4.25 a pound, and I think that's going to be a big, strong consideration going forward because we need more copper. It's the best part of decarbonization. But on a hedge basis, we're printing trillions of dollars in Canada, the United States, and everywhere, and gold is a natural hedge against that. And I think the gold price where it stands today at $1,800 is pretty much where the long-term view is. So again, at that spot price, copper and gold, our NPV of our project goes from about 450 to about $1 billion. So we're highly levered to both gold and copper, and I'm very happy to see that both those metals continue to do well.
Yeah, I'm a bull myself, so hopefully lots of upside from here. So can you give our viewers a final recap? And is there anything else you would like to add?
Sure. One thing is, every CEO probably comes on and talks about their project being, severely undervalued. And for us, on any metric, it is, right? Whether it's a resource or reserve ounce or percentage of net present value. But we've got strong, significant catalysts upcoming, particularly relating to permitting. And this provides investors with a great low risk, high reward entry point into the stock at this time. And our largest shareholders are Ruffer in the UK, Franklin, the ASA Gold Fund. These already hold about 30% of the company, and it really demonstrates the quality of the asset and certainly management's dedicated approach to ESG principles.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Scott, for all those updates and information. And we'll definitely have you back. So best of luck with everything.
Great. Thank you, Roger.
If you like these videos, kindly hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications. Drop us a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. And finally, always remember, Departures Capital is for information, education, and entertainment purposes only. Don't buy or sell a stock because you heard it on here. Buy or sell a stock because you've done your research, you've done your thorough due diligence, and you're making your own personal investment decisions for yourself. This video is not financial advice. Furthermore, this video may or may not have been sponsored by the companies that we've profiled within this video, and we may or may not own shares of any of the profiled companies in this video. If you want to know the full disclosure details, check the description down below, along with thoroughly reading our disclaimer. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.